really big.
That and the Siva Gunner uh Kirby Robobot World soundtrack.
Listen, sometimes music just goes together. I don't know what to tell you. There's Limp Bizkit. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, this one. This one absolutely fucking slaps. Oh, it's fine, Emmy. Life will change. Ah. All right. So, I guess I'll hit this here as we go into tonight. We're down a Sharky. We're down a Lania for now. I guess we'll work through that. If y'all want to introduce, I guess it's going to be a short order. So, we'll start with everyone's second favorite Catboy, Chris.
Hi, my name is Chris Rees. I run the Final Fantasy XIV Raid Group Blitz and do variety streaming.
Okay, you're my favorite Catboy. I don't like myself too much.
Damn.
Damn.
But we do.
They beat video games and just started Shadow Hearts, another fabulous series. Nipping at the heels of being an experienced RPG player, it's Oni Heart.
Oh my god. my library of RPGs is actually ridiculous. No, but God, I freaking forgot how funny Shadow Hearts.
Oh, that game's a fucking trip, dude.
Oh, it is.
And I forgot how much of a creep Yuri is.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm having a blast just going through, of course, voice acting the lines that aren't voiced in the game. That's what I do. I'm getting on the habit of being more consistent at streaming, so I think I'll probably be streaming a bunch this week. I'll be continuing on with Shadow Hearts and maybe I don't know, some random games in between.
I'm proud of you. And lastly, we have Shy. She'll stream eventually.
I mean, that is the key operative word, eventually, yes. I mean, but yeah, anyways, hi, I am Shy. I usually appear with Lania AI, who is on her way, I imagine, sometime in the somewhat future. But yeah, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
You know, that was perfect because we made it exactly through the intro track.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Timing was good. All right, so like I said,
mean, hey.
we're down a few tonight. That's all right. We'll keep it rolling and just kind of fill the holes as we are wont to do. Hey, I did start streaming it to the Discord. I was like, hey, is my stuff off? Because yeah, all right. Oh yeah, that's right. Once we left off, man committed a murder. I hate it here. I hate it here so much.
Yeah, Chris, you can take Greg.
Boy, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene.
Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all.
No chance. I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it.
Ugh, someone's in a bad mood.
There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there?
Yeah, it's because the windows are bricked shut. All right, it sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Or I can look around. Oh, fine. Darn. Why are you being so rude?
Don't you know I'm human too?
What? What? Oh, God. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he?
Mr. William Shakespeare. He was a lodger here.
Mr. William who?
Ah,
Mr. William Shamspeare.
yeah.
Great.
For a second, I thought this game was going to take itself even slightly seriously, and I was mistaken.
You were hoodwinked.
As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss, or it happens, or just dead.
Jesus, Gregson.
Gosh.
Mr. Shamspeare.
It was the landlord, old Mr. Garadeb, and the old other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found it. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garadeb got worried and kicked the door down.
Oh, that's a normal response. But doesn't Mr. Garadeb have a bad leg?
Ah, yeah, you were right there. It was just that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking.
He was strong enough to do that?
Yo, I can't say that. That's not appropriate anymore. Really? Soseki-san?
The victim was pretty hot up, it seems, even done some time inside for petty crime. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life and a miserable end to it.
I mean, says the guy that literally just lives on fish and chips. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene?
Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious.
Okay, what you're doing is profiling, Gregson. It is very illegal.
But I thought it would be prudent to take a favor from the cohabiter.
I hope you get fired. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you?
Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again.
It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he?
Poor man. How unfortunate.
Anyway, I can't say much more until the coroner gets here.
Maybe you shouldn't say much at all, Gregson.
I don't think the feller's been a goner that long. The body's still warm.
Why are you touching the body before the coroner? Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body.
I thought this was a space of kink grading, not kink shaming.
Oh my.
Well, it is England, and you know how they are. A little bit of bum titty wee wee. What a terrible thing to have happened.
It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside.
Alright, time to retrim Oni.
Oh god, my head.
I mean, this is all we care
Oh
about.
no,
This is all we care about anyway. Yeah. let me
Ani's
get-
the next victim.
There we go. Let me get that zoom in. Rough. Anyway. Any barkers in the chat? Anyway, there we are.
And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences.
Okay, so the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just one story up, isn't it? Wow, spelling story that way too, huh?
That's a bold choice.
Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose.
So, did you know the victim? Were you friends?
That's a no, Chief.
That's a no.
Imagine going outside to meet your neighbors.
Ew, neighbors? No, dude, they're like,
And knowing who your neighbors are.
my neighbors hear the things that come out of my mouth. I don't want them knowing what I look like.
Damn, he had to throw up the gang signs too.
Yeah, throwing them up, throwing them up.
Bro, it's just a question.
What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it?
Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But, uh, but, but did he ever invite me to his room? Never.
Okay, so they fucked in Soseki-san's squalor flat.
On my honor, I swear it.
What honor?
What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there. What?
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally.
Please no, Mr. Sholmes. There's nothing natural about that pose.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened.
My goodness!
No, you didn't.
But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Listen, I put my coffee in my pocket too. It keeps me and the coffee warm.
Idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw two incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life.
Okay, so that definitely didn't happen. Next. Mr. Natsume, what is wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow?
No, don't mind me. Forget I was here. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense!
All right, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions?
No, please pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffarable, inscrutable, insignificant.
Impossible to ignore?
I think you'll find, Naruhodo, that he's just always like this.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail.
Yes, please, tell us so we can correct it immediately.
But of course. Let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented by your pleasure in 2 acts.
We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time?
So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. Sherlock Holmes's Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1.
I'm gonna go drown myself.
Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison.
Does it?
Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe,
That butter?
1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably.
Man was just brushing his teeth with soap. What you want? Don't shame
Why
that
is
dead
this
man.
soap set so purposefully upon this dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The fork reveals the answer. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end, he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by the poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap.
Like Sholmes, I know I joke about that there's literally nothing stopping you from taking 3 massive rips of DMT and holding it. But that doesn't mean you actually have to.
Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course.
Y'all want to know what I got Oni for Christmas?
A bar of soap.
No, I made a candle out of my earwax for you. It's funny that you're laughing.
Oh.
Laugh now, cry later.
And suddenly it got real scary, didn't it? Right? Topic 2, roll it.
The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that the death occurred during the victim's last supper.
Sholmes is out of his
Did
mind,
the man
man.
dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer.
I'm gonna guess so too.
To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly.
Because it's always wacky.
The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock.
You just kicked down the door.
Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone.
There is. Good catch.
Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent.
Nailed it.
And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end. In tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the thereafter. Yes. Thus concludes the final act of Erlach Sholm's Great Deduction.
You're huffing the copium, my guy.
That certainly is a series of events.
Again, DMT.
Hmm.
There's, just one thing, Mr. Sholmes.
You are disposed to identify just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you?
All of it? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap?
It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing.
No, it cannot. That's not even Tide Pods.
Extraordinary.
In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. It was quite delicious, strawberry flavored.
You've eaten it, you mean?
My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut.
No.
But that's no.
And did it?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach, yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous.
It's not, but go on.
I mean, back then, I think they used actual lye.
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, it would have been lye and animal fat, I think.
Yeah, so the lye might seriously be an issue.
It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it.
Well, thank you for giving it a 1 star on Yelp.
Why, of course.
Huh. Okay. So it could if it was lye soap, yeah, you can have caustic ingestion. Sodium hydroxide poisoning. I guess.
That don't sound good.
Severe corrosive burns to the throat, esophagus, stomach, and permanent damage if swallowed. But, you know,
Great
that's
for
a
a cleanse.
concentration thing. Yeah. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did.
There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
Oh? And what's that?
Mr. Natsume. I couldn't help but noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched the nerve somehow.
Nonsense.
Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last.
I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth.
Yeah, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail right on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle. And when he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. All right, Len. Let's see what we can do.
Yes, we must pick out the key words in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions.
Why are we calling them brilliant when they're always wrong?
And discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense.
Like 3 big rips of DMT?
If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place.
Okay.
In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtains rise. Sherlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1.
Hold these nuts, Mr. Sholmes.
Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this damn it, this happened the first time too. Disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably. Why is this soap set so purposefully upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer.
Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something. Or about to eat something.
That's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than attempt it with chopsticks.
I mean, that's a good thought.
Yeah. And of course, only half the bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap.
Oh, I see it.
Do you think he was drinking tea with his soap?
The cup's empty, so there's no way of knowing.
Ah! How about this for an idea? Perhaps the cup was full of water, and he was dissolving soap in it so he could gulp as much down as possible.
Please remember that he may not actually have been the soap lover he's been made out to be.
Listen, that's my new insult for this week. I'm gonna start calling people soap lovers. Listen here, you little fucking soap lover.
Fucking
No.
soap lover.
Fucking despicable. Yeah. Yeah, you fucking like soap, don't you? Fucking clean little
Oh.
washer, you. Good job.
Not the clean washer.
Larry, I found soap on the floor over here. Mr. Shamspear really must have loved this stuff.
Let's jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo.
Hell yeah,
Let's
suck
get the
toes.
soap. Do you see that they would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table?
What the? How can that be?
I think they are two halves of the same bar that broke apart.
You know, this is a huge ass bar of soap for real.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
on big. Yo, beef B mix soap over here. Wait, why does he also have a teacup in his hand? I suppose you'd eat soap with a fork, wouldn't you?
I don't think it's a question of which implement you'd use. You shouldn't eat soap, full stop.
You can't stop me. But then why? Why does this man have a fork in his hand?
Oh dear, I understand your frustration, Mr. Naruhodo. Please don't take it out on me. Point is, if we decide the man used this fork to eat the soap, we wouldn't be changing Mr. Sholmes' deduction. So we really ought to consider some other clues.
Alright. So, the other half of the soap, I assume?
Yeah.
Take that!
Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The other piece of soap reveals the answer.
It being the other half of the soap on the table, in short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really. For no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap.
It's not what you said literally 5 minutes ago.
Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite.
How are you still alive?
But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned. Because there's no sign of any food on the table.
An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate.
Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument, then.
Perhaps he's suggesting the man lick the soap rather than eat it.
You look like someone who would lick soap.
Listen here, you little fucking soap licker.
Oh my gosh.
If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. There are no signs of any food in this room at all.
Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Nah, dicks.
Oh.
Cute boots, though.
Yeah.
Cute little booties. Well, I got a fork and a teacup. All right. Yes, a Western vessel for the serving of infusions of dried tea leaves.
It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Stop putting on airs.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow. Called out.
And it's empty.
Ah, so we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea.
exactly.
Right? We have a fork. If the victim didn't eat the soap, then what did he eat?
Yes, it's a real mystery, isn't it?
A ceramic beverage containment system. Ah, I've got it! He wasn't interested in eating soap at all. It was this fork he wanted to satisfy his hunger with.
Mr. Naruhodo, I really don't think it's helpful to continue with this line of reasoning that the gentleman had peculiar tastes.
Listen, Pika's a thing. Susato-san has such a gentle way with words. But I know what I've been told off. Alright, well, it's the teacup.
Take that!
Step out a sec. Yeah.
Man, that's the fanciest way I've seen anybody refer to a teacup.
Ah. Sorry about that. Yes! The victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup.
Indeed. Cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop.
There's no sign of food anywhere in the room.
Which leads us to the immutable conclusion.
Man ate soap.
The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup.
Cat loves food, yeah. Okay, poison in the tea, that seems more likely. Part 2.
The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide, a murder, or a murder? The audience will recall that the death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer.
Ah, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deductions so far.
Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shakespeare was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me
is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems.
We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues.
I don't need to click anything else. Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. He drank double poison. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that the victim's last supper, there was a guest present.
At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in the room last night, taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such a meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly.
In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table?
Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow.
Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death?
Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock.
I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now.
Afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap.
Still a chance. Still turn the car around. But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
You can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
I think there's a Japanese word game that's somewhat similar to that, Makora. No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read... The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and... A Meal for Galborio.
Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before.
It could just be an incredible coincidence, but... They're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day.
What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Soseki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right.
And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim.
Yet Mr. Natsume claims to have never been here before. What does that mean?
What did that mean?
I really don't know what to make of it.
Take that!
Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books.
Quite so. It's no mere coincidence. that
Crisis
these
Core
3 titles
slaps.
are here in this room. It's the link to the truth.
Yo, it's super zippy. I'm excited to run it this week. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a secondhand shop.
That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. No, never, non-negotiable.
If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Enjoy other Kome! Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you're arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that.
In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. In short, there's only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in this room last night as a result of poisoning.
And that same night, the victim had a visitor.
And that visitor was
You, Mr. Soseki Natsume.
I thought we were gonna do it. I thought I was gonna say Sholmes and Ryunosuke. Did it say
I
Sholmes?
thought you would do it together.
Yeah.
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 Mr. Soseki Natsume-san.
Thus concludes the final. The final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction.
Way to go.
We did it.
Ah, thank fuck.
Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again!
Well then, Mr. Natsume. It would appear you're gonna have to accompany me to the yard. Again.
But wait. Hold your horses.
I actually have fish. Yes?
Door, key, locked. Entry, exit, entirely impossible.
He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal.
What, you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy.
What?
You live in the same building after all. You'd have plenty of opportunities, I'm sure.
But misery me!
Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. If you can finish a sentence.
The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache.
Ah, yes, Mr. Mustache.
You horrible Herlock Sholmes!
He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he?
Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... You have to help me! Please! Please! I am innocent!
Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it.
And one more thing.
Oh? Yeah?
My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me.
And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken, Soseki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great delective.
My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you.
Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now.
Yes, that's right. Ah, and of course.
What?
Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadep, who discovered Mr. Shamspear.
Ah, yeah, Mr. John Garadeb. Yes.
suspect we could find him in his sitting room at the top of the floor as usual.
Right. We must remember to go and talk to him later then. Or right now. Give me this shit. I'm fucking coming at you, Chris. Prepare yourself. 21st February, the Garrideb's room. Here we are again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
We're here because Mr. Garrideb's the one who discovered the incident this morning. Don't forget.
Chris?
It's time for Chris.
Ah, you chaps, eh?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday.
It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garrideb as anyone, really.
Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more Bali nonsense this morning.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garrideb.
Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room.
Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Take care, Dan. Have a great night. It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what had happened?
Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but nobody answered.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door.
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course.
Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour.
Very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
You know, I don't remember asking you, Susato, but thank you.
Don't you want a Susato alarm clock?
Oh, God.
You know, better safe than sorry and all that.
Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden?
Except that it was a sorry situation that indeed that you found on the far side of the door.
The victim's name is Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, William Shamspeare. Took the ground floor 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
In a word, destitute.
Destitute?
Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is that the rent's cheap. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bally screw loose.
I mean, yeah, basically.
Why not both?
So hard to choose which category Soseki-san would fall into.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude.
He was doing research as well.
Research? Into what?
Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that.
William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was way too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shakespeare would have had much in common.
Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that.
Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude.
After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning?
Well, now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time.
Mr. Garrett noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose.
Couldn't summon the NMG for anything much, so I just sat down here in front of the fire. It was after 8 before Shakespeare got back. The chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there.
Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Is everything alright, Mr. Sato?
Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garrett, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly.
Not a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg.
Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean.
Ah!
That's a very good point. I can't imagine you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? Is he a dirty voyeur? Yes, he is.
I say, I know what you're thinking, and it's a folly outrage. I'm ex-military, you know.
Hey? I'm from
That
Japan. Are we just
that-
saying random things about ourselves?
I don't see how being ex-military means you're not a voyeur. It, in fact, I think might indicate the opposite.
Shut the fuck up Friday, everyone.
Yep.
I don't go spying around on my tenants. Why would I?
Because it gets you off?
Then how did you know, Mr. Garrideb?
It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. Maybe you should eat less beans.
No, eat more beans. I love beans. Beans are delicious.
They're a magical
Beans.
fruit.
The gas? Garrideb, are you huffing nitrix? What on earth do you mean? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything?
Well, as you're probably aware, gas is supplied to the building by pipes.
Yeah, I'd more or less work that one out. Still not sure where you're going with the talking gas lines, though.
The room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main.
Yeah, I understand that, too. I think.
Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the lamps up here. You suppose what happened?
Well, obviously the room would get brighter.
Exactly, but at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms in the house would dim for a moment.
What? They dim? Why?
Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual.
Sure.
And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it?
Yeah, of course. Because everything's connected to a single supply pipe.
Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable.
Listen, it's the... They don't understand physics, Susano.
Jolly good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless, long worn out.
Why are you using them? That is exceptionally dangerous. As someone that lives in a city where there are gas mains everywhere, why are you still using it? Only this man trying to blow up this man trying to blow up the block.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta light it up.
Barely got any gas in them to start. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here, and they glow brighter in the rest of the house.
Ah, right. I see. So, by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere?
You've got it.
Oh, of course, because when people come back home in the evening before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires.
Yes. Clever.
Point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one room above it use a slightly different amount of gas.
Go on.
By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garrideb. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh well, nothing to it really.
And I can't really see that it's going to... Oh. I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garrideb is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. We know what that screen is hiding now. The aftermath of the fiery altercation the other day.
Don't suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for some time now.
Oh dear. This must be a very difficult situation for you.
I'll say, people talk about twists of fate and whatnot. This is a twist and a half. Rotten show all around.
He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened. Oh yeah, wait, this man ain't got a wife no more.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, we haven't seen.
Yeah, she got locked up or whatever. That's an impressive collection of cakes on that fancy silver cake stand there.
I feel sure that it was full of cakes when we first investigated it here as well.
Yes, quite right. Haven't touched it since. Haven't done much at all, really, since it all happened. Time's rather stood still for me since last night, you know?
Oh,
Time has stood still? Now that's an interesting phrase. Might be able to use that excuse when I'm next supposed to be tidying the office.
you could just tidy up, Mr. Naruhodo.
Why is she in my head?
In your head?
Yeah, zombie. Eh. It's good to see Mr. Garrideb's Medal of Honor still proudly displayed on the wall.
The inscription reads, "For distinguished participation," if you remember.
Yeah, I remember. Because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that.
Wouldn't know it to look at me now, perhaps, but I had my devil-may-care days, you know?
Huh.
Devil may care? What did you get up to? You like smashing demons and banging hookers?
Hanging out with characters from the Divine Comedy.
Do you have a brother named Virgil by chance?
Well, that's all in the past now, of course, and best left there.
He was a demon hunter.
Like your brother Virgil? Best not? Well, now I want to know. Did you smash the lady with the fat ass?
Oh my god. Oh.
I'm
Listen,
just impressed that they let him take a cannon when he retired.
he seems like the kind of guy that didn't really ask permission. That's like rule number 2 of the military. It's better to beg forgiveness than ask permission.
You know, looking at that jacket, I think he was the Virgil.
Hearing Oni cough, it makes
Yeah,
me
what up, pizza?
try and remember what fucking joke I made last week that just, like, killed him.
Oh, it was his second mustache. It's in the clips. Listen, what do you what's the deal, Oni? Are you like making designer pubic hair arrangements?
What?
You know that response was way too high pitched.
Yeah, I feel like we should do a Sholmesian deduction right now.
No, man. It was.
Clearly, it's time for a great deduction on Oni's pubic hair.
Hold on, wait. No, we don't gotta go down there.
Oni's stylistic, artistic pubic hair designs.
No.
And it's not necessarily yours. Maybe you're doing these designs for other people.
No. No.
You okay, buddy? Do you have anything to share with us, perhaps, Oni?
This sounds like an interesting business opportunity, to be honest. Like
Right?
a salon, like a what's it called? A manscaping salon, basically.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'll run the waxing table. I'll rip your fucking pubes right off, baby. Fucking whoop.
Oh my god. That sounds painful.
Listen,
That's
it could be
humility
straightforward. I just opened up my Twitter timeline and refreshed. And there's do not fucking ask questions because we're gonna get sidetracked. But there's a Japanese sex shop that I follow, and there's a bottle of
Naturally.
lube, and it just says its name in English, and you know how great the Japanese to English translation is anus in.
Oh, wow.
It's very
Alright.
direct. Anyway, so back to ripping your pubes off with wax.
Oh.
But you put like a stencil on there.
Yeah,
so that you're
yeah.
only ripping off the pubes that are not.
Yeah,
part
I'm
of the
sorry you can't
artistic
sleep,
design.
homie. Definitely stay
Yeah, you gotta-
hydrated
you
and
know
try
how
and get
people
as
get
comfy
their
as you can,
eyebrows
and we'll
threaded?
carry y'all through the night.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You want like a lightning bolt, little landing strip?
Give me the old Harry Potter.
Oh God. You know, if you ask nicely, you could maybe get a little rubbing to zug afterwards.
Not the tizza.
A little bit of a gluck gluck sucking McTwist happy ending didgeridoo.
I'm dead.
That's your military uniform, isn't it, Mr. Garrett?
Ayo, why Hojo be looking like Dr. Finkelstein?
Oh, man.
It's done. It's in your head now. It's in your head now.
No.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
Well, ceremonial garb, yes. Been hanging on the wall since my retirement, Ash. Not an active service, you know. Doesn't mean much to me anymore. You could have the old thing if you wanted.
But then no one would make fun of me for wearing all black.
Well, it might suit Lord Van Zeeks, perhaps. An overly ostentatious outfit like this could be just what he needs.
Very tactful, Miss Usato. Very tactful indeed.
I don't think Dracula needs any more drip.
Listen, that man be whipping glass around like it going out of style. There's a single apron drying on that enormous cannon-shaped clothes horse. Look.
No, Mr. Naruhodo. That's a real cannon.
I knew that. I was just testing you.
Piece of history, that is. Seen plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell you.
We talking
Wow,
about the
you
apron
used
or
to
the
dress.
cannon?
Yeah, you motherfucker, stop stealing my jokes. Listen, you.
No, he deserved that one.
Listen here, you fucking soap licker.
I'm dead.
Now the old girl and I are just enjoying the peace and quiet of retirement together.
The apron or the cannon?
Not the apron, because you put my fucking wife in jail.
Maybe she shouldn't have
And
fucking
if-
killed somebody.
And of course, she'd come in handy if the enemy decided to launch an attack again.
Still not getting a very definitive answer on if this is the apron or the cannon we're talking about. Is there a war going on that I don't know about? What, you ain't
Oh,
charging into
no.
battle in your fucking maid apron?
What can I say? I love my friends.
Ah, yes. Those enormous mortar shells. It's quite something to see them up close, isn't it? Eh.
Didn't you say something about firing them into the barracks, Mr. Garrett?
You remember, do you? Just a little mishap that occurred during training one day.
I think we all have very different definitions of the word mishap.
What are you doing firing on your own men? The captain bellowed at me.
I'm not surprised. A little mishap doesn't really do it justice, does it?
Well, one has these little incidents when one's a hot-headed young private.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. I, commit domestic terrorism. Yeah, it's
It's
casual.
just a premature discharge. Happens to everyone.
Oof.
Don't worry, it happens to a lot of cannoneers.
That's wild.
Ooh, hold on. That's a bummer.
Hmm?
No.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do about it. I tried looking into it. I don't think it's something I can fix right now.
No, it's nothing on your end. Just bad sports news.
Oh.
Even it's not even what you're thinking. Oh well. Yeah, we'll touch on that one later. So what were you trying to fix? I swear to God, if you say Plex, I'm gonna fucking light you on fire.
No. Just when you're not doing a line check to Valheim.
Yeah. It should be continuous, I think. Like, as long as the server's running, the server's running. Perhaps I should put some evidence that resulted from one of my little mishaps on display.
Oh, does the great lawyer, like the great detective, want to exhibit some trophies of his finest moments?
You look very dashing in your uniform there, Mr. Garrett.
Oh, that old portrait, eh? Drawn by an art student who used to rent the room downstairs before I had him killed.
You know, I love a man in uniform, Mr. Garrett.
You look so wonderfully young and courageous and strong.
Yes, well, chaps presented it to me one day and asked him if I'd let him off the month's rent in return.
Oh, I see. So you did, presumably.
I bally well did not.
That's great.
Oh,
Portrait's a portrait, but a rent is a rent, eh?
You're a fucking piece of shit, Garrett.
He did it for exposure.
And yet, it's still there, proudly on the wall. Fucking typical fucking beta male art enjoyer.
Damn, they still didn't clean up. Oh wait, it's only been a day. Isn't it?
What's that, Oni?
They still got the mess from the
You like
last-
8 miles from the goddamn microphone, man.
They like excuse me. They didn't clean up from a few days ago.
Bugs. These shelves look like they've been torn apart by a wild beast. Hey, Garrett, isn't that what we called your wife?
Damn.
Reminds me of the Battle of Moneywand, don't you know?
Ah, the experiences of a seasoned veteran.
Enemy had us surrounded on all sides. We really thought we were done for. Whole Bali company. We were taking a real pounding from their cannons, so all we could do is run for our lives.
You know, if you're using the word pounding in a sentence, I probably wouldn't make that face. Oh, I thought that story was going in a different direction, actually.
Well, the whole experience has taught me one thing, I can tell you. When you're done for, you're really done for.
That's not what a lawyer who often finds himself under fire wants to hear. Sheesh.
It's definitely a good lesson.
I mean, yeah, it's not a bad lesson. Oh yeah, we can find out about his mistress's books.
Oh, a copy of Rancid Magazine. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful?
Naturally, one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. But having met the chap, it's undeniable. He is most certainly singular.
Yeah, singular in the brain cell.
Yeah. Singular like the wireless company, like non-existent no more.
Man, I used to have that.
Singularly dangerous.
That's genuine public opinion for you, Mr. Sato. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories.
Make no mistake, Mr. Naruhodo. I intend to snuff out the sort of public opinion we just heard personally.
Oh,
I-
so Susato is the murderer.
Yeah, that's
Susato
weird.
going around killing anyone who doesn't like Sholmes.
You know, I wouldn't put it past her. I'm starting to see where Mr. Sholmes' untainted reputation comes from now. There's a lot of shit in this house. Can I show you my wares?
What you buying?
What are you selling, stranger? I guess we'll poke back down
She
here.
says wares?
Is this the other piece of soap? What the hell?
This.
It looks like part of an envelope, I think.
Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened.
Is that significant?
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter, or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there?
Oh, no, you have a point. Yeah, she's right.
And yet, here we have the torn off end of an envelope.
Maybe he was eating it. He died from eating paper.
It just strikes me as unusual.
I agree. We'd better take this, just in case. Alright, so we're just fucking picking up trash now. Look at these extravagant bright costumes. I want to wear them too. Somehow they look out of place in this room with its grim, shady goings-on.
This one looks like a king's attire.
A king? I've always dreamt of being a king.
Oh, I think it'd be more suited to a feudal lord, a daimyo, or such like.
Damn.
Damn, not even gonna make a queen reference? Oh, at least thanks for that one, Susato. With a chonmage top knot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmage.
Oh, you look wonderful with one, and you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chomage and a sword? Yeah, people would make fun of you, you fucking dork.
One of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guest drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside.
Are you sure about that? I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Soseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so we can examine them in more detail later. Okay. Yeah, it's Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg.
I forgot about that.
And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind?
Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Ah, I see. Yes, now you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here?
That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating.
Time to make some wooden coins. So if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold?
Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank.
Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall.
Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas.
What, the beans on toast didn't tip you off to that one? But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there.
Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier.
Oh, the poor man. So young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was?
I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul?
I'm
Thoughts and prayers.
thoughts and prayers.
I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually.
Why?
For all of the Sholmes haters she's murdered.
I'm telling you, psychopath.
The book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way.
God. Please no. Oops, that is the wrong button.
I'll just reread it now. One moment.
That's quite a spine on that book, isn't it? Ah, yes. Much like the window, I too be bricked up.
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up.
They had to word it like that.
She bricked up.
A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay.
What strange things they use to tax in Great Britain? I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in the property? It's extraordinary.
Heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh,
What is it, Miss Susato?
If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose.
Oh, yes. It looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspear who did it? I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room.
Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, look, more soap.
On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it.
What, outside? Yo, let me get that soap.
It's so cold outside. You can feel it through this gap.
I mean, yeah, it's like 3 bricks wide. It did snow all last night. It would be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps?
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window?
I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that.
And was serious about his soap game.
Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window? I think perhaps we should take one. There are 2 after all.
Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at the soap.
Ah!
Do you see? In the middle there?
Is that a coin?
There's a patch with a different color. It's sort of transparent, but
Some sort of fancy design, I suppose? Only in Great Britain.
it looks like the Hinamaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful.
What?
It's probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive? And what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? Why does this man have soap?
Because they're putting cocaine in the middle.
God, I hope so. That would be dope.
Soap. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Ah, hey, I was right.
Inspector Gregson, but back so soon?
After I threw the little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, the place will be cordoned off by the yard.
How about you go fuck off? Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then.
Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low being back in his elegance so soon.
I'm sure. We should probably go and... Why is this man getting up?
What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Hey, yo, it's Kefka.
Who's doing this?
I guess I'll do it for now. Out, out! Brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. That strut and frets is hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Now, how soundeth the next part?
It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Indeed! Oh, happy day!
Wow, 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 wow. Walking Dead. Uh-oh, Wapner.
Damn, he really ragdolled for real.
Yo, for real, for real. My ACL just blew out looking at that shit.
The fella isn't dead after all.
What was that nonsense he was saying, though? Is it Shakespeare?
It is Shakespeare.
Yes, it was William Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Oh, shit, no wonder he dead. He died of being a virgin.
A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare? And so it was. Oh, that the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime, whatever that now was. Gweggy weggy.
Whatever do you think will happen now?
That's a really good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim came back to life?
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place.
Yeah.
It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced. But it was an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder?
Maybe he was just really freaking tired.
Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I think you're projecting on that really tired thing, Kyo.
No. I suppose. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Yo, Shooter, thanks for the raid, homie. Sorry all of my alerts are busted as hell. Oh, what's this?
Is it the garishly dressed? Yeah.
That man got a chin for days.
Well, this is what Jay Leno's been up to.
I heard he was up to something recently. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because I don't remember, but I don't think it was all that great.
He seems like he would be an NFT guy.
Yo, if y'all don't know Shooter, check out the homie. Fabulous individual. Yo, how is Civ 6? How's it going
I
tonight?
wonder if it's the third Skulkin.
Yo, get some rest, dude. You're in a car insurance commercial? Let's go.
Monochromatic outfit. Face like that.
What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings. Yo, is he the soap delivery guy?
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, Brighton. Excuse me, could we have a word? How many VTubers can you fit in a Honda Civic? Civ 6 with your friends in constant paranoia? Oh, God. That's fabulous. Yeah, she got a bath today.
Sure that
She's
I've
very
seen that man
noodly.
somewhere before. Where was it?
I'm pretty sure that's Stan from the Monkey Island games. And I'm not
Good
joking.
reference.
Literally, it's the same outfit. If
No, he had like a plaid that didn't move along with his animation.
Yeah, but it was like horrendously garish, though.
Oh no, it was garish. You're right. But like there would have to be a pattern on that, and then it would have to animate such that the pattern never moved on the screen, no matter how much the character moved.
Yeah. Oh God. God. So Stan's selling soap now in London. Maybe Stan's a vampire. He hasn't aged in centuries now. Yeah, for sure. We got some things we can tidy up too.
I feel,
I do too, but I don't remember. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again.
a good idea.
I want to see what's in the soap. Let me get that soap. With the exception of the top
Don't
floor,
drop it.
where Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb live, all the windows are bricked up.
Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows the property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows.
But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could be opened up again, surely.
Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done.
Do you not understand how hammers work?
Maybe they can't afford it.
Yeah, that is a sad state of affairs.
Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation.
It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that.
Chisato, nothing matters. Nihilism is the most expedient way forward. The Garadeb household and Mr. Natsume's lodgings are in a prominent position there on the corner. Sometimes when I look at the building, I can't help feeling it's at a bit of a slant.
It does rather look as though it would collapse in even the smallest earthquake, doesn't it?
And isn't it supposed to be haunted as well? I think I might have a hunch as to why Soseki-san has such a hunched back. Yo, it's just fucked up bike.
There always seems to be a bicycle outside of the Garadeb residence.
Well, you're not going to ride that one away, are you?
I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact.
That one seems very warped, though. Especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think?
I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly affected.
Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think.
Oh dear, I fear you may be right.
Hey, he really can't catch a break.
Huh?
Natsume can't catch a break for real.
Oh, I thought you were talking about taking a break.
Everybody
I was
dunking
like,
on.
yeah. Yo, check out that dope snowman!
That is a dope snowman.
Why had somebody built this snowman in some sort of pedestal, do you think?
It's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That's part of the snowman's body.
Really? But it already has a perfectly good body.
Although it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow, perhaps this is a foreigner.
Now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels, though.
If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it?
I don't know. Is this actually a thing?
After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs.
Well, I mean, you try building a snow sculpture with legs. Get back to me on how that goes. Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? Damn, we getting busted up about a snowman, apparently. London's blanketed in fog again today, and the sky is covered in cloud. But if you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the Crystal Tower being built.
Ah, Crystal Tower, yes. The centerpiece of the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Also is
Also from Final Fantasy III.
Everyone's talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems.
well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. I can't wait for it myself.
Damn, you ain't gonna get to see it, though. Do you think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry?
The last great exhibition was held in London had more than 6 million visitors, it seems. And this time, the British are determined to make it an even bigger success to outdo the Paris Exposition.
Oh yeah, that's right, because the English hate the French and vice versa.
Oh yeah.
I see. That's an incredible number of people. And with so many people expected to attend, we should be easily able to slip in unnoticed.
There's always the honest approach of buying tickets at the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm poor, Susato. William Robbins, he's a practical optician. Fabulous. All right, well, I guess it's time to go visit our friend in the prison.
He's like that everyone's so mean to me meme, except he has clothes on.
Screaming. Yo, he about to like bust into the Thriller dance, dog.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now?
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Oh, yeah?
What is he? Tell me, is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes? Cat loves scream,
He
yeah,
actually
yeah,
calls
yeah.
himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume. Not a ghost.
But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Oh, cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you.
Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction, too.
Yeah, moving on though.
Oh?
The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Hooray! It's great.
Oh.
Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. Hooray! That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume?
His gang signs seem to beg to differ. It's terrible!
Letting the homies know.
Oh,
I'm stuck in this cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick.
You trying to get the long end of that stick, Ayo?
Oh no. You did it, didn't you? Confess. You're a killer. Why the mustache? Damn, they really asked about his mustache?
Yeah, they asking.
Constant questions?
Constant Cravings by Katie Lang. Canada's sweetheart, Katie Lang. I'm sorry to hear that.
That selfish shyster!
Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive?
If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William!
Okay, so you do know William, is what you're trying to tell us? Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place.
Ah, yes, well, that makes sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last.
Oh. Wow, you are just exposing all your lies, aren't you, my dude?
Homie out here, fucking cock in hand, just going to town on it.
Oops. Oh, yeah.
My guy. Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you? Didn't you, Squidward?
I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present.
You do.
I am your lawyer, you idiot. Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story.
Why am I cursed like this?
This man. Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume?
There's nothing to tell.
Somehow I think you're full of shit, but go on.
But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that accursed case yesterday.
The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back?
It's hard to believe that was only yesterday.
After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening, at past 9, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear.
So, you did go to the victim's room then?
As we feared.
Well, I mean, what are they gonna charge him with? Homie's not dead. He's not pressing charges.
I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time!
Uh-huh. Then, what made you decide to go?
I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell.
That ties in with what Mr. Garadeb said, that the victim went out and came back after 8.
We met again later that evening, at around 9 or just after, when I took him some tea I'd brewed as a gift.
So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then?
And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate.
Sure.
Such a stimulating subject.
And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspear's tea?
No, never. Not at all.
Are you sure, Squidward?
Maybe. Team Juliet won! That was me! And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit! I swear it, categorically!
He was fighting his ring fit? His Wii fit?
Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence.
I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time I've learned that it's no place for me.
It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture.
There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember. And then, 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road.
But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable.
Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money that spoke to me.
The rent?
Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed.
Cursed? Cursed how? What, is like Tommy Wiseau living in the walls?
Not so.
Tommy Wiseau? Is he living in the walls?
The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there.
I did not hit her.
Oh no!
He was only a young man. But one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why.
Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that.
I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered.
But then I realized I was poor and had no choice. Thanks,
Exactly.
capitalism.
But I want books. And books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay.
That's like you. You want books, but books cost money. Yeah, they do.
When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning.
Really giving up the ghost quick on that one. Brave or blinkered?
But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done.
Rented a room?
Realized how horrible that room's history really was.
Gosh, was it really so awful?
Alright, we'll probably wrap it up after this one here. Let's get to the history of the room.
How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened?
At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me.
Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else.
Was it Garadab?
It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean?
All the souls who's died in my room. I lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me.
That really is horrible.
And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night, too.
You sure you're just not like a sleep killer or something, my dude?
The very same night that Mr. Shamespeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room.
So Gyaradev has secret passages in the building and he's killing all of his tenants. Got it.
You must simply move out of that room as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. I know it, and that's why. I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home.
I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
At this rate.
Woo! Susato-san knows how to make a man listen.
Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well.
You mean Mr. Gyaradev?
Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again.
Well, that is true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place.
Ah, perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps in his tenants' movements.
You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms.
What do you mean? He pays so much attention to the gas lamps.
Oh dear, no! It's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please, forget I said anything.
Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well.
What's important is that Mr. Shamspeare isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around and he'll be able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released.
Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right.
We'll call it here. To meet our mysterious new friend.
GG, everybody.
Yeah.
GG.
Gaming. Do I get music if I just take it back? I don't. All right. Well, I'll just throw on what I had on previously. Hey, good gaming, everybody.
Good game.
Yeah, good gaming. There we go. There we have some music. Yeah, hell yeah. I had fun. Did y'all have fun?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm interested to see where this is all going. Why are we investigating a man taking a very long nap? This is so weird. All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining me. We'll do it again next Monday. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else planned over. How are we gonna do this? Okay, yeah, late to the party, but at least she wore pants this time. It's Lania.
I did wear pants. experience this time, and it was a grave sacrifice I made for you. Hi, I'm Lani Ikea. I do long plays of RPGs. Tomorrow I've got Star Ocean Divine Force on. Thursday I'm doing Haven. And Saturday I'm doing Sonic Frontiers and Cyberpunk. So yeah, check me out. I'm a cute bunny, and it's the year of the bunny, so you're all supposed to love me.
I also have fun things for you tomorrow. I have more Exoplanet.
Ooh.
And they did an update. I haven't checked the patch notes, but they did an update since I played it last. Chris, tell these people why Might and Magic is a great series.
It's one of the most unique series ever created. It combines a turn-based combat system with a real-time action combat system that you can switch between at will.
Damn, it sounds kind of like Arcanum stole that.
Kind of. So Arcanum uses sort of your standard Baldur's Gate system where it's sort of top-down and it flicks between in and out of combat. Might and Magic is actually a first-person game where you're one party on a single tile type of thing.
I haven't played those games in like so long, let alone watch one. Anyway, tell the people what you do.
My name is Chris Aries. I run the Final Fantasy XIV raid group Blitz, and I do RPG long plays. And they eventually get uploaded to YouTube, if I can remember.
Yee. Shy, tell the wonderful people about the benefits of eating blueberries.
Well, I mean, blueberries are supposed to be very good for you, and they make delicious jam too. But, anyways, hi, I'm Shy.
Did you know that Michigan is one of the few places where blueberries occur in the wild, and it's the largest producer of blueberries in North America.
Huh. I learned today.
Yep.
What? Yep. Anyway, thank you for having me. As Lani said, we're doing Star Ocean tomorrow, and she has her Haven collab with Eris on Thursday, and Saturday. The first half of that's kind of my responsibility because I am the one who kind of gave her the Sonic game.
It's a good game.
I heard a lot of good things about it, and that's why I sent it to her.
No, you sent it to me because I said if someone bought it for me, I would stream it and sing Sonic songs.
Tomato, tomato?
Yeah, I don't see a difference between those two statements.
Yeah, HR has asked me to find a difference between these pictures, and I'm not seeing any. Last, but definitely not least, we definitely couldn't do it without him or his wonderful analytic knowledge of how to beat video games quickly. It's Twitch's very own Tony Hart.
I feel like if I ever speed ran a game, the world would end.
You should learn how to do AMG so I can pay you money.
Don't think I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, I have bounties out for Final Fantasy 15. I haven't published them yet, but if you get like an even halfway decent time on the leaderboard, I got like $20 to $25 with your name on it.
I'll think about it.
Listen, most of them would take less than a week of work to do.
Well, you know me. It's even the same thing with art. I take my time. Oh, but yeah, me, Oni Heart, art, RPGs, fighting games. Also, unfortunately, we lost a good one. The Omega Strikers beta ended yesterday, but the game will be releasing in April. And you better believe I'm gonna be playing that shit.
Hell yeah. Hopefully your teammates don't suck dog ass.
aside from that, next stream probably just gonna continue with Shadow Hearts, and well, I'm just working on stuff and preparing for my birthday.
Cool.
Oh, when's that, if you don't mind me asking?
The 20th.
Yo.
Ooh.
Here, Brighton, I'll show you the best way to start streaming. You're never gonna believe this, right? So check this shit out, right? You open up OBS and there's this button right here. It says start streaming. You just click it. That's how I do it. That's how I recommend you start streaming. You just hit the button, start
Yeah, but
streaming.
Keo, what about the anxiety attack you have before that?
Have you seen how... Look. Have you seen this shit? Look at all of this. Just look at all of this, okay? I deal with this. I put it all together. I make it work. It's fine. It'll be fine. What's the stop streaming button do? Fucking your mother. That's what it does. Your mother.
Damn.
Damn. Got him.
Get all that.
Fucking hot dogs, true, gaming milk.
He needs some milk!
Is that high?
I mean,
Anyway.
you could almost say that button is the only thing between me and actually streaming too.
Correct.
Correct. Well, anyway. Yeah, I know. Your mother's a very nice lady. She's a very nice lady. She bought me dinner. Well, technically lunch, but listen, I can't make the joke. Anyway, I'm going to meet up and then I'll close out with y'all in a minute. Anyway, friends, thanks for hanging with us. It's been absolute joy as per usual. Sorry about like the weird technical issues we were having tonight. I got to restart my computer. I'm going to do that after I get everything set up for the end of the night. But if you haven't joined us in the Discord, definitely check it out. I only ping once a week, and guess what? If you're not in it, you already missed it. So there you go. There's that. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, best way to get caught up with all of our content, and I put a lot of short form content up on there, as well as stuff that I can't publish to Twitch, like moto vlogs, you know, stuff like that. Well, thank our friends over at SkyTech. If you haven't checked them out, please do. That link there gets you a very good, very nice computer. But yeah, I get a little kickback on that one, and you get a nice little discount. If you want to support the stream through gifts, which some of you have done quite surreptitiously, definitely check out the Throne Wishlist. Real cool way to support the stream. And last but not least, if you're a tea drinker, definitely check out the blends I put together with Adagio. They are, one, fabulous because I made them, duh. Two, but all the proceeds go to benefit the Trevor Project, which is very near and dear to our heart. Lastly, we'll thank our friends over at Capcom for tossing us copies of all these wonderful Capcom games that we've been playing, and thank them very, very much. But for now, we are going to call it a night. We'll go find someone to raid.
It feels really good to do it again.
All right, friendos, you want to say goodbye to the chat?
Bye, chat.
Bye, chat.
Okay.
Bye, chat.
What's
Remember, be a yum broker. Don't yuck yums. And since Sharkles isn't here, tell people that you love them.
Yeah, Darky's good people. Let's go raid Kurt. I haven't raided Kurt in like a very, very long time. If y'all don't know Curtis, he's a really cool dude, really neat artist. He's also local to us, Oni.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's very good peeps. Looks like Kurt's doing a dry Final Fantasy 1 pixel remaster run. He's good peeps, but otherwise, we will check you all next time.
Bye.